We're going to start on the left side, front row with Ian.
Fellas, Ian McIntyre from Sportsnet. Two-part question for you, Zach. I know you played one game after you signed at the end of Vegas's first season. I'm wondering, did you have any playoff experience memories? Were you part of the Black Aces? And 5 years later, what does it feel like to score a winning goal in that Stanley Cup playoff game?
We'll start with the second one. Pretty exciting. Obviously, any way you can contribute. I think that's what every guy on this team is looking to do, is just contribute in different ways, right, and help the team win. So, and then to the first year, I was part of the Black Ace group and was able to kind of be around but not be around and see how things work. See what the grind's like, see how guys take care of themselves, and just kind of see the atmosphere and be in the building to watch. So all of those, little experiences kind of go into developing as a player and getting ready for times like this.
Front left, Ryan.
Ryan Clark, ESPN. Mark, this question's for you. You think about the way that second period ended and how the third started. Like, there was back and forth, but before you guys scored, they were sort of pressing you. What was that conversation on the bench and in the dressing room about trying to just keep things even before you were able to explode for those goals?
Well, it wasn't. It was an unfortunate bounce at the end there in the second, so we still feel like we had played a pretty solid second period there. Started to gain some momentum. We liked the way we were playing. I thought the third period, obviously they're a great team, they create stuff, but overall I thought we had a pretty solid period. We got a big goal pretty early on, and then we got a huge kill. I think it was a shift after, so that kind of carried the momentum in our favor for sure.
Right side, second row.
Dan Rosen, NHL.com. Zach, Bruce was in here before, and he was saying a lot of times when you're generating offense, it's on your forehand side, coming down maybe of that side. This time, you got the puck and you sort of crept a little bit to the backhand with the forehand shot. What did you see on that play once you got the puck? Was it just momentum taking you that way, and like what was your line of sight there?
I saw Barb's in the corner, and he kind of just had his feet towards the middle. So I think with that line and like many other lines, they're looking to create. I think our D core does a good job of finding pockets for them. And obviously, if you can kind of create some shot opportunities, just get pucks to the net, create a little bit of chaos. That's obviously the first goal. And then Barb's gave me a puck in a good spot. Was able to find a lane, and our forwards did a good job of creating kind of a moving. Creating a moving screen.
Left side, front row.
Jesse Graves with The Athletic. Sorry, Zach, I'm going right back to you. You obviously have a lot of NHL playoff experience, but Bruce even mentioned you and Nick playing in like the Calder Cup playoffs. You guys have been playing together for a very long time. Like, how much has that experience helped you through this run, and how much have you leaned on that?
Yeah, I think it's any little bit of experience. I think you can. It's just good to lean on, right? And just having been in those moments, and obviously not at the same level, maybe not at the same importance level, but regardless, just kind of get the feel of what those games feel like, the pressure, how little things can turn into big things in terms of mistakes or whatever it is, right? And then obviously, Hager and I have been together, for quite a while now, and it's not too often you get to stick with one person for quite a while, right? So, I think both of us, we know what to expect from one another, and we're pretty open and honest in terms of how we play as a pair and what needs to be done, and if one of us is we're again going back to the honesty part. We're good at picking each other up and encouraging one another, and just making sure we're reliable for all of our teammates and everyone.
Left side, second row.
Hey, Mark, this is for you. Bruce spoke pregame about the 2018 guys having unfinished business out here. How special was it to see, those three of those original misfits come through and score goals here in game one?
For sure. I think this organization has set out a goal from day one to win. Those guys have been the driving force since day one. So I think those guys, I don't know if they're really looking back on that, but they just want to win, right? those guys are so competitive. You know, Marshy kind of drives that competitiveness every day in the locker room with a lot of little things. So, yeah, those guys are big for us. Guys you can lean on. They've been through a lot of experience, but yeah, for sure. I think, like I said, I think these guys just want to win a championship. They don't really look back.
Left side second row.
Luke Fox, Sportsnet. For both of you, just what goes through your mind when you see Adin Hill make that paddle save?
Yeah, we were talking about in the room. That was an incredible save at a pretty important time of the game too. You know, he makes that huge save. Petro makes an incredible defensive play right after to keep the puck out of the net, and not long after, Theodore makes an incredible play to get us the lead. So, but he's been making huge saves for us ever since he stepped into the lineup in you know, Game 3 of the Edmonton series. But yeah, it's definitely a momentum swinger for sure. I got the bench energized. You know, it kind of opens up your eyes a little bit too. You know, maybe we weren't playing you know, great to start the second, but that save kind of turned it around for us and got us going in that period.
Do you want to add?
That's perfect.
Okay. Front left.
Danny Webster, Las Vegas Sun. Mark, you just mentioned Shea's goal, but obviously he's been very harsh on himself with his play. He feels like he hasn't been up to where he wants to be. When he makes a play like that, is that just a good reminder of just the kind of player that he is?
I mean, for sure. I mean, when they announced it was his first goal, I mean, I didn't know that because he generates so much offense for us with his legs. He creates and moves the puck so well for us. So, but at the same time, he's one of the best defensemen in the league. So when he doesn't produce or doesn't score, you know, I think he can build on a guy. So I think that's why he's hard on himself, right? Because he expects greatness, and tonight that was a great goal.
Take two more questions. Front right.
François Gagnon from RDS in Montreal. That one for you, Mark, or if you want to add also. 13 wins. Tonight was the 9th coming from behind. Is that only a number, or you give more value to that?
Hard to say. You know, I didn't know that was our 9th. Come from behind win. I think it's a little different, right? They scored the first goal. You know, we tied it up, and we didn't trail after that, right? I think it's a little different when I kind of see a comeback win more as, you know, the late goals and stuff like that. But obviously, we'd like to have better starts, get the lead early, and play with the lead. That's when we play our best hockey. But we don't change anything. We stick to the program. We stick to what makes us successful. And I think that's why you know, we don't get rattled. You know, they score the first goal shorthanded. You know, could have been a bit of a backbreaker for us, but we get the next power play, we score. You know, Marshall steps up, Stevenson makes a great play, and we just keep going. So that's what we got to do. Can't let the momentum swings get too drastic in this series. Got to stay even keel and keep going.
Last question. Front right.
Alan Snell, LBSportsbiz.com. This is for Zach. I know your goal tonight's going to get obviously high-profile attention, but you did dole out some also high-profile shots and hits as well. I was wondering if you can discuss a little about the physical play, your physical play, and also the physical nature of the game as well, and how that might play out for the Golden Knights.
Yeah, I mean, you just described what playoffs is and how you'd expect it to be, right? And I think obviously when you're looking at the start of this series, I think both teams have the capability of you know, playing pretty much anyway, right? And both teams have big guys that love to play physical and kind of impose their will a little bit, right? So, but at the same time, that's what makes playoffs, you know, fun and you know, gets everyone going and you know, those little things create momentum swings and can liven up a bench and all those sorts of things, right? So I think both teams were coming out to make a statement and you know, that's what you expect out of them, and that's what we expect out of ourselves.